Hello and welcome back to Betrayal on the Trail. When we last saw our heroes, they'd made as much peace as they could with the clone of Faerin Gladeweaver that had just tried to kill them moments before, and allowed her to show the party to the real Faerin's war room. Inside, they found a war table, where Faerin was keeping track of the other champions' weapons, with the gauntlets being located in the tomb of Davrin Thorawax, and the sword being in an area known as the Scorched Tundra, which is enemy territory. They also confirmed that Faerin's book was last seen on her person before she departed towards the region of Kalaza. The party finished looting what they could from the tower, taking some gold, spell components, and the ring that seemed to be part of some necromancy experimentation, and got ready to depart. They agreed to take the fake Faerin with them on their journey, and set off towards Hegar, the closest city to the tomb of Davrin Thorawax. And that is going to be where we continue our adventure.
As a moment of bookkeeping, I wrote down 150 gold, 220 silver, 1,470 copper pieces. Was that the total amount that Faerin gave us? Or is that after we divvied it up? I cannot remember.
That's what I wrote down as well. I think that's the total amount, though.
The total. It could be time for some maths. Are we just going to divvy that 4 ways?
Yeah, I think that's the
So that's...
easiest way.
So we find our heroes outside of the wizard tower counting coins just on the floor and passing them between each other.
And gremlins. Anyone see us come out of the top? It's like much richer and also with a copy of Faerin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we said we needed to get her a change of clothes.
Yeah. So she's just kind of stood outside with you all, just completely open to the day, clearly herself, just standing around, and kind of crowds of people are gathering around. They right now think that she's some kind of like performer or something, like someone with disguised self.
Cosplay.
Yeah.
So, if I recall, your next objective was heading towards Hegar, was it not?
Yeah,
And we've got a carriage, don't we?
Yeah, you do. It is about it's a 2-day trip by carriage, so it is still quite a way off because it's crossing the border. How do you want to go about traveling? Who wants to man the front of the carriage? How do we want to do sleeping in the night times and all that sort of nonsense? Yeah, this is the fun stuff now.
I don't have proficiency with vehicles, but I do have good animal handling. So I am happy to drive. Although when we cross the border, might be easiest if I just change into a dog for a bit. So yeah, I'm happy to do that. I mean, we could camp. We could drive through the night and take shifts sleeping, but I don't think that's... I don't know, that might be tiring.
Well, I mean, I can also talk to horses pretty well. So if you want to take it in turns, like kind of riding through, so we don't lose time or something, we can look. And you
don't want to exhaust the horse, though.
No, true. Yeah, horses do need to sleep. I'm not
They
very
do.
good at looking after horses.
Do we know, Jay, like how safe the roads are around here?
It depends on the kind of road you want to take, because there are multiple paths towards Hegar. There's the main trade route, which kind of guarded by paladins, the Order of Serenity. They're wanderers who walk up and down the roads, making sure that no bandits are attacking. They're not known to just stop and search random carriages, but of course, if they note something is off, they might... You know, like, if there's a dragon manning the helm a bit, they might pull it out.
And the carriage is just full of bees.
And a copy of Faerin.
You hear the buzzing from, like, miles away.
There is a second route that goes kind of a bit further up north before heading towards Ictium. It actually crosses over the 3 rivers that you got your name from, so you know the area somewhat well. It heads kind of back road. It's a little bit more dangerous because monsters know it as an area that they can ambush people, but it's also an option.
I personally think the trade route is better. We can probably talk our way out of problems with paladins. We can't necessarily with monsters. That would be my opinion, but obviously, you know, it doesn't bear the same level of risk for me as it would for you. So, you know, I'm open to discussion.
I mean, do you feel confident that talking to paladins and dissuading them from looking too closely at us?
I mean, we're not actually doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
We just look a bit suspicious, but like they can't arrest us for looking suspicious.
I mean, yeah, we can try. We can try if you feel confident.
I'm honestly happy to do either.
I'm fine with either. Two.
Why the hesitation there?
Just no reason. Whatever's safest. I think. Whatever we collectively think is safest.
I'm not trying to interrogate you or nothing. Just let's go. I think we'll work it out as we go.
We'll take the trade route then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drive, but if we see anything suspicious, well, we'll play it by ear. I'm pretty charming too. And I'll turn to the horses and be like, "Beasts, will now ride. Serve us well, or you will be roasted this night." And I'm up on the carriage.
The rest of the party note that the horses are kind of like doing that thing where they step a little bit anxiously. So the rest of you just kind of like ferrying into the carriage itself, and just Kibal's sitting up front, or does anyone else want to have a ride along?
I would appreciate at least one other person out with me, so that if subterfuge is required.
Basically,
I don't know if it's going to look suspicious if a dog looks like it's driving as well. That's as bad or worse.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that would be quite impressive.
It would still arouse the suspicion that you don't need.
Yeah, no, I'll ride up front with you. I can keep an eye out as well.
We do also have Faerin, who we can always pop up front as well.
Yeah.
If you need to do other things, if we need to take shift. I'll turn to Faerin and be like, Mannequin, how good are you at lying?
I mean, I pretended to be someone that I'm not for pretty much all my life, so... But then again, I've not really interacted with other human beings other than you all, so it's a bit in the air. I can give it a jolly good go for my new friends, though.
That's a risk I'm not willing to take. Alright, we'll give it the old college try. We can do it in a pinch.
Okay.
We'll just be like, surprise, Faerin, and then while they're confused, we'll run off.
We happy then? Are we ready to... Is there anything else anyone wants to do at the Wizard's Tower before we set off? Or we good?
Oh, just before we go, I want to test the mage hand pointer that I got, because if it's faulty, I'm going to go back and I'm absolutely going to poison spray that gnome sales.
Yeah, cool.
I'll just turn it on and try and like hit a rock on the other side of the road.
I mean, it's not like you push a button and a mage hand appears. It's one of those like extendo grabbers, like the T-Rex mouths, but with a kind of see-through hand attached to the end of it. So you pull the trigger, it extends out, and just kind of does a clenching motion.
Interesting. I think I'll take this off my magic items list. Put it next to me.
It's like 1 gold piece. I'm not giving you free mage hand forever for that. So you'll make your way onto the carriage. Marie, 3, and Faerin making their way into the back, while Arabella and Kibal sit at the front. You set off, heading kind of northward, and I'm just going to make a few rolls.
No, don't do that.
It's just unnecessary, isn't it?
You need to roll dice in D&D.
Stop.
How many levels are we leveling up, Jay?
Your first leg of the journey goes relatively peacefully. You do kind of, as you're making your way through the countryside, make your way onto the main trade route, and as you turn onto it, you see a few paladins. They appear to be discussing something with some merchants for the time being. So you kind of manage to slowly make your way past without them really batting an eye. A few hours pass. It starts to become sort of midday-ish when you come up to the Ictium checkpoint. It is the point where a few guards just kind of check people coming to and from the border. They seem a little bit more... Oh, yeah, Kibel or Arabella, make a insight check.
So that's a 60.
Same.
Cool. So they don't seem to care as much about the people moving from Oliviana into Ictium. What they seem to specifically be checking and going through the carts off the ones going from Ictium to Oliviana. Seems that these guards care more about the safety of Oliviana than Ictium. What's your plan of attack for it?
I think maybe we just style this out, right? They don't look like they're gonna be that bothered.
No, I mean, yeah.
And the other
Give the jolly wave as we ride past. I don't know. We don't need a cover story. I keep feeling like we're doing something suspicious, but we are in fact not.
No, but No, you're right. We're not.
And with that, I'll whip the horses. Like, yeah!
You roll up to the checkpoint, and one of the guards kind of comes forward, hand out, waits for you to stop, and then just comes up around side and is like, "All right, reason for entering Ictium today?
We're visiting Hegar.
All right. And are you transporting any goods back there?
People. But not like property. Wait, hang on. No, we're not trafficking anything.
Cabal notices for the first time he is sweating.
We have some passengers, but we don't have any goods, is what I meant to say.
Alright, that was a suspicious as hell way to go about saying that. Looks up at Cabal and is like, we don't get many of the draconic breed down here. Where are you from?
Elgenheim.
Alright. He kind of jots that down in his notepad, looks to you all for a second, nods and kind of steps aside and is like, well, enjoy Hegar then, and lets you continue rolling.
When we go past, I'm going to peek my head out and just be like, we're here for leisure!
Right, so I'm never making things up on the spot ever again. What happens?
Are you transporting any goods? Just people.
Oh, that went well.
Yeah, that was actually really well done.
Yeah,
Full marks on that one.
I'm crying.
Arabella, come sit up the front in case we get into any trouble or get asked any questions.
We're just trafficking people, don't worry. I'm gonna go sit in the back of the carriage.
Yeah, Arabella demotes herself.
Yeah.
While we are riding, I don't know if Arabella is going in the back or not, but I would quickly like to, after we've gone through the border, take out the book that I blatantly stole from the library that was about draconic heritage that I was reading last night.
Yeah.
And just be like,
You wanna... I read a book. I had a book like this back in Elgenheim. This is, it's different to mine. You should have a read.
Oh yeah. Did you want to swap? I've got that book on the Feywild that might interest you, as you speak Sylvan.
Yeah, and I'll take it, and I will thank Arabella in Sylvan, I think, for that.
I'll say you're welcome in Sylvan.
And then with that, are you actually going into the back, Arabella?
No, I'll stay up front. I'll just be ashamed of myself.
Yeah, sweet.
I think I'll be more confident after that as well, to not be worried about having to turn into a dog or something.
Yeah. You continue along the trade route, and eventually it starts to hit evening time. as it becomes evening, the route starts to kind of be slowly surrounded by more and more trees as you enter a more heavily forested area. You can push on if you want, but risk a bit of exhaustion if you do, or you can try and find a place to spend the evening.
Well, Cabal, why didn't you ask the horse?
Yeah, okay.
Beasts, you have done well. How we feeling, gang? Want to push on, or you want to?
Can the animals talk back to you?
No, but I can interpret their sounds and movements as to like basic
Yeah, cool.
communication. So I can understand like their intents, and I believe they can answer like simple questions. But I can't actually hold a conversation with them.
Yeah.
But they can sure as shit understand me. So my threat to eat them landed.
They nod towards you, affirming that they can continue.
The horses. I mean, the horses are down for it, so we could push on. But I don't mind. I wouldn't mind sleeping if we push on into the where it looks like these thickets are heavier. We might lose a chance to camp.
We're not in a massive rush, are we?
No, and I think we open ourselves to a bit of danger by sleeping. But if we have somebody on watch, does Mannequin, do you sleep?
No. It's hell.
Cool.
Just get the peace sign behind. Like.
Do you have dark vision, Faerin?
No.
Do you have any vision?
I was going to bring up a little something, but I never wanted to interrupt you because you all have this amazing flow, and I feel like I'm kind of stepping in. When we left the Wizard Tower, well, when we were in the Wizard Tower, I had a lot of magical power. It was really amazing, but I'm starting to think that the Wizard Tower may have been the source of that magical power, and it wasn't in me all along, like all those books I read said it was. So, there's that, and with that, I lost the ability to see in the dark and also cast spells, but,
So what can you do? Not like no, it's still good to have you along, but
well, I've read a lot of books, so I have an encyclopedic knowledge of everything in this area from about 600 years ago.
And a bit more recent than that.
Well, no, I haven't had any new book shipments for 600 years.
that's still useful. It's good to have you.
I feel valued.
Yes, congratulations for soaring down the usefulness ladder.
I'll just kind of like whisper to them. You should probably kept that to yourself.
Oh yes, I'm realizing that, but it would have been really awkward when they said, "Ooh, cast a spell," and I couldn't do it. So rather now than in a life and death situation.
Yeah.
Do you have any weapons or anything, or was it just your spells?
I've got a lot of gumption.
Would
Right.
you feel it if we sharpened your hands to a point?
No, which is the terrifying part, but
So it's just a hypothetical. You don't have to think about it too hard, please.
Yes, we could rebuild you. Make you stronger.
Do you know where your soul is?
I have 10 darts. I'd be willing to give you 4.
I like that one. I'll take 4 darts, please.
Just gonna quickly hand over 4 darts.
Right.
Yeah, should we do shifts then?
Yeah, why not?
Could I get a survival check from someone, though, just to find a nice, livable area for you guys to camp out in?
My survival check was a 16.
You find an area that is quite nicely obscured from the road itself. It's quite open, quite flat, is near a body of water, but it also looks like there are some other merchants currently camping out a bit further down the road in that same area, so that That may make it a little bit safer for you guys, as there's a little bit of backup further down the road. Might draw a little bit more attention, hypothetically, but it's the best area that you managed to come across along the trail.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds nice.
Would I be able to insight check the merchants to pick up on their general vibe?
Yeah, cool.
Vibe check.
Yeah, I'd like to vibe check them, please. 23. I look at them and know all of their secrets.
You see every single thing they've ever done in their life.
Yeah.
They seem all above board. They seem to be like on official duty. Their carriage has a large amount of weapons inside it, so you would assume that they're transporting weaponry for the Oliviana military or something like that. So you would assume they're not going to be like bandits or anything like that, because they're on the job. They're like essentially lorry drivers for.
Yeah, I just wanted to check they weren't human traffickers like we are.
Yeah, you eye up the pile of weapons and you don't see a single human in there.
Here looks good to me. What do you guys think?
I like it.
Hey,
You set all your stuff up a little bit further down the road from them, I assume, because you don't really want to be going just sitting at someone else's campfire. You set up for the evening, and how do you want to go about your evening activities? Does anyone want to do anything before they wrap up for the night? And then do we want to do any watches or anything like that?
Realistically, how many people can sleep in the carriage?
So you have the two sort of leather sofa style things that are facing in on each other. So you could get two people sleeping on the inside of there, and then maybe one on the floor. But that would be a much tighter space.
I'm fine without the carriage. I'll sleep with the horses.
We probably should set up a watch.
I agree.
So,
Would I be alright to slip out, just have a quick dip in the undetermined body of water, if that's alright? I'll be back before my watch, or just need to get my vitamin W.
I'm happy to take first watch. I don't have dark vision, but I do now have a light cantrip.
If we build a bonfire as well, I could light it, because I took Druidcraft, the silliest of the new Druid cantrip.
Should we make a bonfire?
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah. Team bonding, come on guys.
Yeah. You gather up a bunch of the driest looking large bits of wood just from the surrounding trees and managed to build quite a tall bonfire.
At one point, I approach Faerin, but then I'm just like,
I'm just kidding.
That is awful.
She seems uncomfortable for the rest of you, for the rest of the evening.
Right.
Yeah, you get quite a nice large bonfire burning, and I assume just eat whatever rations you had on you, have a nice time around the fire, and evening fully sets in. Say you're doing the first watch, Arabella.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll take second watch then.
We'll go through Arabella's one first then. If you could make a perception check, but I shall let you do it with advantage because you have a mannequin that is sitting just awake all night long. So while she's around, she'll give all of you the help action.
Natural 20!
Amazing.
Whoa.
You sit
So
by
aware of things tonight.
You sit by the fireside for a bit, just waiting for your watch to end, and then you hear a bit of movement from the other side of the trees, coming from the main road itself. It sounds like footsteps, but there's kind of like it's like a step and then a slight drag through the dirt.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
Yeah, of course.
So I think I can know if they're there, but to read their thoughts I have to see them?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So, is there anyone within 30 feet of me in the direction?
Yes. Yeah. You can sense that the moving object has thoughts.
Can I see them?
You would have to poke your head out to have a look.
Yeah, no, I'll poke my head out.
Yeah, cool.
You know what I could have cast? I could have cast alarm.
That would have been super
Next
useful.
time. Yeah.
You poke your head out, and you see what appears to be one of the paladins, the Order of Serenity. One alone, looking quite bloodied up. He's dragging one of his legs, and he's making his way down the trail by himself.
I now read his thoughts.
Yeah,
So I can see him.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of self-hatred going on inside there. A lot of like could have done this, could have done that. You essentially get the vibe that he had a team and they were jumped by something that you can't exactly make out from the thought pattern, and he was the only survivor, and he's only the only survivor because he left the rest of them behind as a way to escape.
All right. I'll. Can I indicate to him? I'm gonna be like, hello, and just like sort of walk up to him.
Okay, yeah. He jumps a little bit when you first make yourself known, but then lowers his hammer. He's a kind of quite young-looking male human, bit of stubble going on, and he looks very, very tired. Are you still detecting thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really
Just for a minute.
want to speak to you right now, but he nods to you and is like, good evening.
Are you in need of assistance? You look injured.
No, I'll be fine. There's a stop a couple of miles down. I can just make my way down there.
Is my caravan going to be in danger? You look like you've been in trouble.
There was Yuan-Ti, the snake people. They were further down that way. That I don't think they were looking to take caravans. They were looking specifically for a fight, and they just jumped us. I don't understand why.
How far, roughly?
Just a couple more miles down the road, about 4 or 5 maybe. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how long I've been walking for, so...
Yeah, are you sure you don't want... Like, we have a healer.
As much as I appreciate the offer, I don't think I deserve it right now. He is going to kind of slowly turn on his heel again and begin kind of dragging himself down the road.
Can I follow him?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Look, I don't know what you're going through right now, but if you die, you can't make up for any of your mistakes.
You have a point.
Do you like healing?
Fine. Okay.
I'll bring him back to the caravan. I go and wake 3 up.
3, yeah, sure thing.
3.
Hello? Is it time for my watch already?
Not quite yet. This gentleman here's got a bit roughed up. I wondered if maybe you could use some of your healing magics on him.
I should. Yep. Good. Can I vibe check this guy?
Vibe check, yeah, of course you can.
I just want to see, like, if when he sees me, like, what he is like, you know, just kind of poke my head out and like, judge his reaction to a tabaxi, basically.
Yeah.
That's an 11 on the vibe check.
It's hard to tell. His face is kind of mashed up a little bit, so you can't really tell an instant response from it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would look quite concerned, I think, and then, yeah, I'm gonna spend a key point to use Hand of Healing.
So, what do you... Just describe for me, how does 3 go about performing Hand of Healing on another person? Is it like, you just... like, is it you
punch him?
You find a way to, like, blow a healing aura through to the person, or do you just snap someone's arm back into place?
Oh, I like to think it's more kind of focused on the, like, you know, kind of spiritual monk energy and, like, just kind of touching and channeling that, rather than, like, you know, actually performing, like, medical treatment.
I wanted to make sure before I, like, described a scene where Free just, like, punches a man's leg back into the right position. You sit down beside him, he kind of nods to you as you do, and you lay your hands on him, and you kind of focus your key through to his body, find all the areas that seem to have taken damage, and just flow soothing energy through to them. You want to roll a little hit dice shield?
It's 4 hit points.
Cool. It's, you know, not a mighty amount, but it's enough to keep a man alive. His leg kind of patches itself up a little bit, and he tries it out, stands up on it, and it's not giving him any problems. Nods to you and is like, "Thank you. You've both been so kind." He's gonna go into his pocket and he's gonna pull out a small sack of gold, and he's got, I've got 50 gold here. Places it down. It's like, for the medical treatment, it's all I can do, but it's also the least that I can do for you all right now. So,
I mean, you don't owe me any money. It's yours three. I didn't do anything.
No, it's alright. You keep your money. You might need it for shopping or maybe equipment.
You're kind, Baxi. Dangerous to be kind out here, but it's a good feature. He's gonna pick the coins back up and place it back in his pocket, and he's going to look to you both and be like, "It's very fortunate for me to meet you both. I need to go, and I've got a lot of families that I need to inform certain things of, so I'll be on my way." Nods to you both and turns around and makes his way back onto the road, a little bit faster now because he has a functioning leg again.
Thanks for that, Three. I appreciate that you were willing to help someone out. I'm sorry that I sort of assumed that you would on my behalf.
No, it's no problem. It's, you know, good to help.
It is, yeah. I'm just saying, thank you. You can go back to sleep now. I'll wake you up when it's time for your watch.
So about 10-minute passes.
Just as you're getting back to sleep again.
Okay, it comes to Free's watch. Make us a little perception check.
Sure thing. I rolled the same number twice. I rolled 2 3s. So that was an 8.
On brand.
Yeah. So you're trying to kind of keep your eyes peeled, and every time you get your focus, Faerin shakes your shoulder and is like, look over there, and you see like a pigeon step out into the path. Another few minutes, she points over to a rabbit. You cannot get your focus at all, but it is lucky that nothing bad happens. You get choice of who you get to wake up next.
Gonna roll for it. Cabal. I'm gonna go and just like be very, very hesitant about it and just kind of like prod him and then kind of jump back as far as I can.
Wait. It's fine. I'll rouse myself, like stand up, just check the horses, and like stroke them, and then turn around and be like, "Anything to report?"
No, I mean, there was a man and he looked really injured, but then I healed him. That wasn't part of my watch. That was on Arabella's watch, but he's doing fine now and he went off in the other direction. I don't actually know what hurt him, but he didn't hurt us and he's fine. Everything's nothing to report.
Go to sleep.
Yep. Good night.
Good night. And then I'll sit down. And I'm gonna turn to the Faerin and I go,
I'm sorry for my cruel joke earlier. To make it up to you, I'm going to teach you how to have dark vision.
and I would like to begin my watch.
Yeah, make your check with advantage again. As Faerin tries to open her eyes a little bit wider, but realise that they're painted on almost.
That's a 17.
Amazing, yeah. Great check. Unfortunately, it is a very dull watch. You make your way through it. Nothing really of note happens. Comes to the end of your time.
Cut to like an hour and 50 minutes later, and I'm there with a hand like 5 feet from Diggy's face, just being like,
Just see it.
I'm trying.
I could see it if it was over there. The only reason I'm not shouting is I don't want to wake them up.
She seems really upset now. Like her self-worth has been thrown into question completely.
We'll try again another time. I've enjoyed bonding with you.
I will go and wake Marie up.
Good evening.
Hello. Nothing's happened. Apparently there was a man.
A man, you say?
Well, 3 told a very baffling tale of it. I asked if anything had happened on his watch, to which he said no, but then there was on Arabella's watch. There was a man that he'd healed.
So you're saying there was a man on Arabella's watch that 3 reported on his watch?
I'm saying nothing's happened for at least 4 hours.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind as I begin my watch. Thank you, Cabal.
Good night, and just collapsed on the spot.
Okay.
Again, Cabal's classic narcolepsy.
His trademark feature. So if we can make final perception checks for the evening.
Yeah, I'll just walk out to Faker and just be like, what's up with you?
It's been a very long night.
That's a 9.
You get locked into just small talk with Faerin. Not much happens. There's a moment where you see a deer step out of a clearing, kind of do that thing where they just stop dead and stare at you and then sprint off. But other than that, it's a nice, boring night. Morning kind of comes over the horizon, and the rest of you all wake up one by one, ready to set off on the next leg of the trek.
Alright, so there was a little incident on my watch that I should probably tell you about. I wasn't going to wake you up to tell you, it wasn't urgent. So there was an injured paladin who came by, and he was the sole survivor of an attack by snake people. He told me their name, but now I can't remember. But snake people, about 2 miles down the road, apparently him and his party of paladins were attacked. He was the only one who survived, so I'm not entirely sure we want to go down that road. Apparently he thought they weren't trying to attack caravans, they were just kind of looking for a fight, but, wouldn't take his word for it.
Would I know anything about UNT?
Make a history
Yeah,
check.
well.
Oh, 19.
Yeah, your parents told you stories about them. They do live in Ictium, but they live way further north than where you are right now. They have these kind of strange pyramid-like temples that they live in. They're all based around power, prestige, rankings. You wouldn't really know why one would be making the trek all the way down here.
I would, relay that bit to the group. It's weird that UNT are this far south.
I mean, it's quite possible that he was attacked by something else and mistook it for a UNT, but he was definitely attacked. I mean, I read his mind. He wasn't making stuff up.
He didn't look well.
Yeah. But what's the other caravan doing?
Oh, they've set off by now.
Marie, did you see which direction they set off in?
Yeah, they were going the opposite way to the way you're going.
Right.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Of course, that was a caravan that came from the direction you were going to head in that was unscathed.
Cabal is eating his breakfast while this is going on. But certain words in this tale, like paladins being attacked randomly, wanderers by potentially bandits, rankle him. due to past traumas. So I think he's going to be like,
I'm more than happy with sticking to our plan.
Okay.
Going down that road.
It's the quickest way.
I'm just wondering if I can check my spells list for any sort of anti-snake device.
I'll show you an anti-snake device.
and I'll point to 3.
Yeah.
I would
He's a
look
born.
nervously over my shoulder.
You could do a cool pose with your claws.
Oh! I'll do a mediocre pose with my claws.
Forget it. Look for your spell book.
Yeah. I mean, I have some spells that just cause general mass destruction. I suppose those ones would work.
They are effective against snakes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quite versatile.
I don't think we should rule out talking to the snake people.
Well, you know more about them than I do. Are they generally quite civilized?
DM, are they generally quite civilized?
They, within themselves, they're quite civilized. They think every other life form out there is a lesser entity ready to be sacrificed to their gods or used as slaves. But other than that, yeah, they've got a great civilization going on.
I'm sure their hearts are in the right place.
I mean, to be fair, like the fact that they're so far south might indicate that they're looking for something other than a fight, and that might imply that we can at least ask them what they want, and if they respond with violence, then we can respond.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying, let's walk in there guns blazing. I was just saying, yeah, let's. If I think if we're going to go down this road, we might potentially have to be prepared for a fight. Are we all happy with that?
They are likely to attack first, though. And I think, like, if we do want to go down a route where we're not killing them,
I think if they attack us first, we should take all due countermeasures. But to be honest, we might just be able to escape from them. I'm imagining horses are faster than snakes. We could just shoot a few things at them and then make a break for it. Like, I suppose, we don't necessarily have to engage them in combat.
I mean, unless they're like snakes on horses.
Kamal considers wild shaping into a snake and challenging the horses to a race.
And there would be, sorry, I'm just apprehensive. But if we're happy, then we might just end up in a fight.
Wagons roll.
Cool.
Yeah, let's go.
I assume same positions as before.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Sounds good.
So you take off on the road, and I assume you guys make a kind of like active effort to take note of when about 2 miles have passed before you reach where the paladin was talking about. Do you want to make a perception check for us when you reach within that area?
19.
17.
You both kind of like note as you're passing what appears to be a little bit through a wooded area is a bit of a clearing, and in that clearing you see what must have been the site of a battle. There's quite a bit of blood on the ground. There are a few bodies, and they all shine silver with the same sort of armor as the paladins. You also make note of a figure, a quite tall, broad figure, making their way between each body, leaning down, resting a hand on it, playing what appears to be a pan flute, and then what appear to be kind of like vines come and wrap themselves around the body and move them slowly into the ground. This figure, from your perception check, appears to be a furbolg. This one appears to be an older male one with kind of silver hair that's braided at the back. That appears to be the site of the battle.
I have no strong inclination to stop here. I don't know about you.
No, let's just keep going.
I think we should keep going, yeah.
You continue off, just leaving that situation to itself, and after quite a few just standard hours of travelling, passing a lot more merchants, evening starts to hit again, but this time you see in the distance what appears to be the city of Hegar. That's all the time we've got for this week's episode. But before you go, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave us a like if you like what you just saw, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss out on any of the adventure.